There is a $5,000 reward to figure out who stole several drones from Fort Campbell. The Army's Criminal Investigation Division shared photos of these two men. They illegally went into a building at the Army base last November and took 4 drones. They left in 2 different vehicles, a light-colored sedan and a dark-colored pickup truck. If you recognize either vehicle or the suspects, you should contact Fort Campbell.
You know, as a combat Army veteran, this does not sit right at all with me. First thing that pops out about this drone theft story is how completely implausible it sounds when you've actually lived inside of the system that they're trying to describe. And I know other military personnel probably feel the same. They said they stole 4, okay? Sensitive items now. We're talking about sensitive items. Stole 4 X-10D military drones. This was assigned to an engineer battalion on a major active duty installation. You just don't walk out with sensitive items like that. It just doesn't happen. But you're telling me just quietly disappeared out of a secure government building over a 3-day window? Yeah. Also, we're in 2026. We don't have any HD cameras now that we can install, okay? Because that's bullshit. Anybody who's ever signed out any sensitive items, whether it be NVGs, a laser, or even a basics comms headset, knows how tight the paperwork trail is in sensitive items. And you know what we're talking about? We're talking about a UAV system. That's a lot higher on the totem pole as far as security clearances. You understand? You just don't get to walk into a battalion area, stroll through some controlled building, pop open some locked cages, and just walk off with some military drone systems without layers of access, like security checks, signatures, accountability reports. This stuff would be lighting up like a Christmas tree. Do you understand? Okay, so before anybody swallows this bullshit narrative at face value, I really want you all to go talk to military personnel. Talk to prior service folks, okay? Where's my supply sergeants at? Where's my clerks at? Where's my platoon leaders at? Hey, I want y'all to leave in the comment sections, okay? Tell me if this is how sensitive items worked in your real world situation, okay? Because sure as hell didn't in mine. Now let's break this down for an actual day-to-day perspective for those who've never served, okay? On a normal unit, right? Something pretty small like NVGs, right? Night vision goggles, they're treated like gold, okay? You got hand receipts, inventories, lockup procedures, and some poor E5 or E4 is living in constant fear of a surprise layout. Seriously, ask them. Okay, but you're telling me that a drone system that can conduct a ISR and plug into a battlefield network are somehow sitting loose enough for unknown individuals just unlawfully gain access to a building and walk out with them? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Now, for those of us who have been through some change of command inventories and 100% layouts, you know that this is not just a red flag. This is a siren. I mean, to even get close to some gear like that, you would need authorized access to the installation itself. That's the first thing, right? Then you need access to a specific unit area. Then you would need access to a locked storage cage inside of the secure building. Meaning at every step of the way, that would imply badges, logs, control doors, and people who actually know who you are. Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, right? So when the official line quietly admits that these suspects have authorized access and defeated the locks on internal cages, well, that just tells me that this wasn't some random civilian smash and grab. This was either an inside job or a situation where people in the system actually looked the other way. I don't know, I'm just saying. Are you kidding me? They're giving us low detail steals that do nothing but say, hey, trust us. There were definitely some bad guys over here, mystery bad guys, but we can't tell you who they were. Meanwhile, they're sure to emphasize to y'all that this is no threat to the public whatsoever, and there are only small cameras on those drones, okay? As if that magically erases those systems representing Operation Alley. Well, no. So again, I'm asking all my veterans, my MPs, my internal folks, my UAV operators, right? In your experience, when real sensitive item equipment goes missing, is the response usually a soft-spoken press release and a $5,000 reward on a flyer? Or is it lockdowns, full-blown investigation, and people getting relieved of duty until there's accountability? I'm asking for a friend. Stage left. Now, to me, I don't know here. It just seems like the stories are set up, right? You take a high-tech asset such as this, right? You let the narrative float around as if it's missing. You vaguely identify two mass suspects, and then you leave the story just sitting in the background. Whenever you need it, you use it later on down the road. Just say, suddenly, in a few months from now, we see one of these exact drone types suddenly show up on an attack on U.S. soil or against U.S. assets overseas. How easily do you think it would be to point a finger at a convenient foreign enemy? Roll that footage of the stolen systems there, guy. I'm just thinking out loud, okay? Not even gonna lie, from where I'm sitting, it just looks like a perfect recipe for a false flag. There you go. I mean, create a pre-built excuse, right? Tie it loosely to a real installation and a real unit, give it some credibility, and then you crash it. You bring it in whenever you need public outrage or justification for whatever escalation is on the menu at that time. Make sense? Yeah. Look, I'm not telling anybody out there to panic, okay? What I am telling you to do is just keep your head on a swivel, pay attention to the stories and to how the stories evolve, and remember how accountability in a system that really works inside of the military from people who actually have experience, commence to the official explanation. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so to all my brothers and sisters in uniform and all pre-service watching this, drop your experiences and your perspectives in the comments. I want to hear from you, honestly, okay? I also want to know if you for this war or against this war, okay? Because I'm not for this at all, okay? Because I want America to hear from the people who actually know how impossible this scenario is supposed to be. Seriously. Okay. So again, if you've wore the uniform or if you worked inside of a military installation base or whatever, worked on the inside, your voice matters more than you know right now. Seriously. I love y'all. See you on the next one. Later.